draw an old school female face, side view. Now this is going to be done on the iPad Pro in Procreate. I'm going to use 4 layers like normal, so sketching, line work, shading, colour. Now if you've only got normal paper and pens, you can follow through. You know, it's easy to follow. It hasn't got to be done on the iPad. So to start off with, on the sketching tool, sketching, technical pencil, and we're going to go red for this. So we're going to draw in, firstly, a box. We're going to divide the box into 4. And then coming in so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to bring in a line like this, so curve in front of that top line, going across here, touching this line. You want to curve in the line a little bit, then you're going to curve outwards. So you're pretty much touching that centre line, whereas you curve outwards. Go a little bit below it, curve back into the line, curve back outwards, and then curve inwards like so. Create a little loop here, just touching the line, inside the line, and if you want you can touch the line for the jaw bit. Bring this line back. You want to curve it so this line is coming roughly to about here. You don't want to go too short. If you go too short it'll look weird. Just trim down that line a little bit, want a little fold in it. And then where you got this nose, curve here, and when you get to here you want to create a curve. And a curve backwards. Really simple, just kind of create your nostril. Now when you got your eyes, starting from this part here, can bring this line back to that centre bit just there. From this part of the nose, we're going to create this curved line, which is going to come back to that line just there. And then coming up through the middle of it, you're going to curve a line outwards, and then start going upwards. Now if you draw a line out from the bridge of the nose, roughly around here, this is where you kind of want to put the pupil. So in between these two lines we've done here, we're going to have this curve just here. And this is again going to come up to that top bit, so that's going to be where the upper eyelid is. Then just reinforce that line, bring it back like so, and create your pupil inside. You can put little lines for your eyelashes on there if you want. Now the eyebrow, if you come from this point again, curve across and curve down, curve up. You want to come in front of the eye. So you imagine where the line comes down, you want to make sure it's in front of it. And that little bit there, we're going to create a little loop, little curve line just there, so you got your lip in there. So this is the kind of structure we want in the face. So now what we're going to do is plot out some ideas for the hair. Now I know I'm going to roughly want a flower in here, which is going to go in this kind of area. But to sort of mark it out first, we're going to go with the hair. So I'm going to bring this shape in first. And it's all about shapes with hair, so I'm going to bring this curve. It's going to come in front of the forehead, curve back around. So that's my first shape. My second shape, I'm going to bring this curve coming in front of the head. And I like to get these shapes really close to the facial features. So we're going to create this curve one here, and this is going to curve inwards, like so. So that's my third shape. And yes, I'm going to have a rose sitting here, so I'm just going to plot this in roughly. So you've got a circle inside a circle. I'm going to create this up, create some loops around, some semicircles in the inside, curve around. I have got detailed rose tutorials, and I'll do a few more as well on variations, and I'm going to do like about 5 kind of petals around it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then bring some curves around. I'm going to make a couple of leaves. So one there, not one there, I don't think. One there, and one there. I like to have some sort of feature that takes up a good sort of chunk of the hair. You know, if you struggle with hair, sometimes it helps hide it. It's not that I struggle with it, I just like the look of it when it sort of like takes up a lot of it. Following back from the lower lip, if you bring a curve coming down like this, going through the neck, this is where I like to usually put the neckline. just there. So it's going to curve down there. So again, now it's going to create some more shapes for the hair. So I'm going to create this bottom one down here like so. Just going to curve them, and you want it to kind of fill up this kind of box shape. You want it to, like, here we go, at least fill it, you know, if not more of it. So I'm creating in these kind of sort of curve shapes, just building it up. You don't want anything too much on the same level, so if, like, this hairline, this one's here, so you want to make sure this one sits differently, this one sits differently, this one sits differently here. So they're not parallel. If they're parallel, it kind of like looks a bit odd. Alright, now coming down, I'm going to give her a little bit of a shoulder, not too much, so we're going to bring in this kind of shape just like so. Create a curve, some semicircles under the bottom, and cut a line through. Where we've got her neck, I'm going to bring in some circles, as if she's got like a pearl necklace. And now shape off her neck, and we're left with the face. I might put a little bit of hair just in front of the lip, just there. There we go. So now I've got this, I'm going to basically put in the line work for this, and then we'll come in and I'll show you some refined details with the hair and stuff. So if we go line work, I'm going to go ink and tool, studio pen, black. I want this to be fairly thick, but not too massively thick. Yeah, that'll do, I think. Just a tiny bit bigger. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm going to go over everything we've just done now. And I know I go pretty quick. Don't feel like you have to go as quick as me. I think I say this in every sort of video, but go at your own pace. If you need to pause and rewind this, you know, do that. You know, it's not a race. And I know it's a lot of information in a fairly short span of time. You know, so sometimes it takes a couple of tries. So yeah, that's it, just plotting this all in. Just going over everything we just done. Might add another pearl just there, like, I think. Yeah, I like that. Let's bring in those leaves. And then I'm going to bring in those shapes again. You find a lot of old school stuff is generally about building up patterns and shapes rather than kind of structure and form. You know, a lot of people, when they sort of kind of like really delve into it, it becomes very much kind of more pattern and then structure, which I kind of like, to be honest. You know, it's not so much traditional when you go like that. It's more like new school ways of doing, like the old school, like new traditional. But I do love that as well. I'll always have love for the old classic, you know, the old Sailor Jerry stuff. But yeah, new traditionalists, they're doing some really good stuff out there these days. Pearl necklace in there. There's curves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let me just turn off the sketching tool now. So yeah, so we left our basic line work. So now we come in and add some like little refined details. So where we got the hair, I'm going to bring in a line, another line. I've got 23. I'm going to go down to a smaller one now. And for a change, I'm going to do a thinner line in between the thicker ones. And I'm going to do that pretty much for all the hair strands. And basically what I'm doing, I'm just following the shape of each hair curve. So where I do a sort of circular here, I'm just basically following the outside curve line. So when I do this one here, I'm going to follow this shape, like so. When I get this one, I'm going to follow this, like so. So you're basically just going with the shape. You know, there are exceptions where you can break that rule, but if you want to keep it simple and just kind of like make sense of it, just follow it. It's a really simple way of doing the hair, and it looks really good. So now do these little thinner lines. You know, if you take your time, you can get like really nice and perfectly even spaced out. Mine's okay, but no, it's not perfect, but I'm not going for the perfect look. Sometimes imperfection has its perfection. Now when I'm flipping around here, it's because I find certain angles more comfortable than others. You know, I recommend you do the same. Like if you've got like a certain way you find comfortable drawing, don't be afraid to turn the paper around that way. So yeah, so you can see that's the inside hair bits. And now where we got these leaves, I'm going to bring in this little spike line inside them. So basically just a long V shape, like so. And then on the inside bits, I'm just going to mimic the shape. Bring a line around, do it the same with the petals. So we're just mimicking the outside line. This is just an extra, you don't have to do this bit. I just quite like doing this for my roses every now and again. Now we got that. Turn this up again. It's going to bring a real simple little pattern line just through there. I might do a secondary line just there. Yeah, I like that. So that's the basic structure for the line work. So now we're going on to the shading. I'm going to use the spray paint tool because I quite like using this medium nozzle, but you can use whichever one you prefer. Make sure you got your line work set to reference, so click on it, click reference, and this will make it easier for selecting. So when you go selection tool, at the top left hand corner you see where it's highlighted, and then at the bottom it says automatic. So now when we click on bits, as you probably heard me do 100 times before, it selects those areas. Very going low. So I'm going to select a few areas here that aren't quite touching. And I can do more in a couple of sections. This basically just speeds it up for me in showing you, rather than doing every single one individually. So as usual, I'm going to go black from one side, black from the other, and just leave like a little highlight in the middle of it. And I'm going to do that for each one of them, so just coming from the edges, and as you get towards the middle of each section, just leave yourself a nice little highlight. Like so. I'm going to select the other hairs. Select these ones for now. So same principle in all of those, just colour in black, and then any little bits kind of showing through, just colour black over the top. Now we've done that, just going to select the leaves. Just want to get a little bit of black just in the bottom of them. Very, very small amount though, not too much, otherwise it's going to feel too much of the hair. Black in the eyebrow. And I want just a little bit of black in the face, mainly just around the bottom and the top of the eye. But very small amounts, so I'm literally going to go very close to it. I'm going to go a little bit here, just touching the eyebrow. And that's it for the black, so now I'm going to go on to the colour. So I'm going to start off with the face. I've got these kind of colours down the bottom, these flesh tones. I'm going to be uploading this on Pinterest, so you should be able to find my colour palette there. It has all the colours I use. So I'm going to select this one first. It's like a medium kind of skin tone. And I'm basically going to come around the edge here. Just going to bring this up, kind of around that forehead part. With his noses, I'm going to bring this little line coming down towards the nostril. And then underneath the nose, a little shadow there, a little bit just under the chin, and just around the mouth bit just there. And then I come in now with this darker colour. So it's a bit kind of a dark reddish kind of skin tone. And I'm going to come around repeating what I've done, just a little bit less. So I'm basically like going over the edges. I love this colour. Now, that bottom part of the neck, I'm going to do the exact same thing now, so kind of working from the edges, getting that darker colour. Same thing for the shoulder. Just like so. I'm going to select all the inside parts on the rose, the top lip, and the bottom bits of those pattern works, and it's all going to be red, like so. I'm going to take these leaves, kind of colour in a dark green, and use this army kind of avocado-ish colour I quite like for the tips, just like so. I'm going to come back with a red again. I'm just going to put a little bit just in that bottom lip. I'm going to select the face. I'm going to create a new layer here just to make this easier. I want this red just coming up this side bit of the face over that cheek area. Not so much on the forehead, just mainly on that cheek, but I want that. I'm going to select this kind of sort of purpley grey tone here, which I want just above the eye, so you've got like a bit of makeup kind of effect. I'm going to have this on this part of the eyelid too, so going from one side to the other, and leave a little highlight just in the middle. I'm going to select those inside parts of the rose, the little inside parts of the leaves, a bit down there at the bottom, and the eye, just to speed it up. And then these parts in yellow, these parts down here in yellow, and that eye I'm going to do in orange. Just going to select these pearls, bit of black shade, nothing too crazy. A little bit of shade from the bottom, just that corner part. And lastly that bit there just in green. And there you have it. That is how to draw an old school female face, side view. You know, there's other ways you can do it. You can have like sort of bandana in the hair, you can have different clothing, different patterns. One thing I will do now, which is my little sort of trademark, which you all should know by now. Little X on her cheek. But yeah, you can have different flowers, different things. You can have different accessories, feather in the hair. It's all up to you. Covering the tattoos. But yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you like that. Check out my videos, comment, like, subscribe, and the Broken Puppet, and I will see you next time. Peace.